You're tuned in to Steve Megatron on Altered Geek Unlimited.
Hello and welcome to Altered Geek episode 169.
Check it, wow.
Yeah, whatever. I'm your host, Steve Megatron Phillips, and joining me is...
DFT and Mike.
Obviously. So...
Trailer time!
Yes, this is the official trailer dump of the Altered Geek podcast. Yes, we're taking a big dump all over your trailers.
I know we're not getting into that other thing just yet, but all I can think of is the episode title should be Flashing the Transformers Trailer Dump.
Only you would put that many things together. So I guess we should start out with the Flash.
Okay.
Just because of how interesting this week's episode was. Getting, first of all, the iconic Mark Hamill to come back and play the Trickster.
He was almost Joker-like, because he had purple hair.
I think they were intending that.
Well, he had purple hair.
He had purple hair. He had, which... The purple hair, he had green hair in like the animated series stuff. But he was very Joker-ish with his, his attire, his mannerisms, his look, his, teeth, like everything. And he kind of reminded me of like almost the Arkham game Joker. In a sense, which was kind of cool. And he's got the flower on the lapel of the jacket, and he's got, all that. And then he's got the campy, like, 1960s style bomb on his chest. I was hoping for a little bit more Joker in there than what we got, but I think it's fine.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I enjoyed that performance. And then I loved how, almost the last minute, Jay Garrick was going to be blown to smithereens, and Barry comes in like the literal last second and saves Jay and disarms the bomb and puts Trickster over in his, tied up in a corner.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? What just happened? He's like, I'll sue you. I'll own that helmet. And he's like, I'll use it as an ashtray.
Or a candy dish.
Or a candy dish. And then they drag him off, which was hilarious. And
before we get to the rest of the episode, friend,
I just love the outfit that Jay Garrick has, like as far as Flash costume.
Yeah, it's awesome. Someone that follows me on Twitter at Duffism1981 says to me after I had shown because my Twitter and my Facebook is tied into my YouTube and Google and all that. So usually if I like a video on YouTube, it shows up on Twitter, Facebook, wherever. And he says, it's interesting how the past 2 years, the Trickster has appeared just about the same time as the new Star Wars film release. I don't think it's tied into that, but that's what he says on Twitter. So, but yeah, no, this episode was kind of cool. It was interesting. The whole time travel thing is really coming back to bite them in the ass.
Which I think is kind of nice.
Yeah.
That there are repercussions. I do like that you do have Jay Garrick in this episode, and Barry has to go get his help. And then he mentions Savitar, and Jay is like, I don't know him, and I've never seen him, but I've heard of him as a myth through the Speed Force. And Barry's like, well, how do you know about him? And then so they're doing all this expert digging and everything, and it's just great how they, Jay's like, yeah, you must be pretty powerful if the first meta speedster is coming after you,
Right.
And the fact he's already had Reverse Flash coming after him, he's already had
Zoom,
who just wanted his speed, and then you've got Savitar now, Which almost kind of leads me that if they knock off Savitar at the end of the season, which you know they will, with some other dire straits at the end of the series, there really aren't any bad speedsters left for him to fight.
They'll create some, or they'll work something into it.
I know there are other speedsters in
Yeah.
Flash lore, but I'm kind of hoping they find a different villain that's powerful. Like Mirror Master should have been more powerful than what he was. They should have had. I mean, there's a lot of other alternatives that they could have done. But anyways, that's beside the point.
I mean, Mirror Master could come back. I mean, that's not.
Well, I know he can. It's just, yeah. But no, I love the fact that they worked Jay into this, and have him helping Barry kind of see this, and then Savitar shows up, and they're like, he's like, "Do you see this?" Like, and he's terrified. He's like, "Oh yeah." And then they attempt to fight him, and then Jay gets his butt handed to him and almost killed, and the box is the only savior for that.
Yep.
And then the two of them, it was great seeing them run. And Jay's like, "You can be my sidekick," and he's like, "Sidekick?" And he says, "Well, I am the senior speedster," and he's like, "More like senior citizen."
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just great seeing that, and then them doing the roundabout in Star Labs and throwing the box into the Speed Force, and then Barry gets launched into the future to see something 5 months later that happens, which I won't reveal for anybody that's
not seen the episode yet.
Yeah. But it rattles him to the core, and he gets pulled back by Jay.
Yeah.
And it tells him that he should have never seen that.
Yeah.
He should have never been able to go into the future, which is crazy that Jay can even get there.
Yeah. What I like about this episode, outside of everything we've already talked about, is how slow Wally's story is taking. I don't mind that he is not suited up yet. I mean, yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking that, everybody is kind of against him except for HR, but I just like that build-up. And I can't wait to see what happens next with him, because I think Wally, Barry kind of needs somebody, because you're not going to get the Legends showing up. You're not going to get Supergirl showing up all the time. You're not going to get Arrow showing up all the time. And Barry can't be everywhere at once. So I'm really digging how slow they're building with the Wally part of the story. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering with Wally if what they're going to do is... because I thought for sure they were going to kill Jay in this episode. And then it didn't happen, thankfully. But I'm almost wondering if Wally is going to be the reason of Savitar's downfall. And just hear me out on this. I wonder if the three speedsters, Jay, Barry, and Wally, and even maybe Jesse, because I have a feeling that Jesse and the real Harrison Wells will be back. I think what's going to happen is they're all going to end up doing this like super running Speed Force thing where they give Barry part of the powers of theirs, like siphon some of their power into him,
right,
to make him faster. He defeats Savitar, but in the process gets lost in the Speed Force, and then they spend like up-teen episodes like they did in Arrow to get him back.
Right. Yeah.
And then Wally takes over in that interim because they really don't have a choice. They need a Flash.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I really could. I could see it any number of ways. I could see it, how they kind of rebuilt Rebirth when DC did Rebirth, and how they rebuilt and made everybody remember again the memories that they lost. That kind of thing. I could maybe see them trying to pull one of those types of things. But yeah, no. I think now that we have Wally, and now that we have Wally, that he's going to eventually get his... I mean, they give him his suit for Christmas, but, I mean, we don't actually get to see it because Joe's new girlfriend there, the DA or whatever her name is, she's there, so... we do know that Wally.
Second half of the season, he'll pick it up.
Yeah. Oh, pretty much. And then it's so funny at the end of the episode. Barry's like, "Okay, I'm gonna take you to your present now." Takes her to this gorgeous apartment in Central City, and she's like, "I got you a wallet." That was so hilarious. So I'm betting at the start of the second half of the third season here, we're gonna see Iris and Barry in their new apartment. Maybe Wally is staying. I don't remember. Is Wally staying with Joe already, or?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that'll obviously continue, and then Cisco and whatever's going on with him. Like, oh man, that kid's got so many issues right now.
Definitely.
The sad thing, the whole time I'm watching the episode, they start talking about the box and how the box can kind of trap Savitar. I'm like, hey, look, all we need now is Scooby-Doo, because it's the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. I know that's horrible.
You know what I was thinking? It's almost, what is that? It's like almost like a Hellraiser thing, or Schrodinger's box or something. Like, is it alive? Is it dead?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I was really enjoying this episode. And then it obviously takes place a week after Invasion, which you want to hear that, you have to listen to the previous episode if you haven't listened to it.
Yep.
So
168. Yeah. I don't know. After Invasion happened, and we said this in 168, and I'm going to say it again here, I almost think that should have been everybody's mid-season finale, but it wasn't for Flash, Arrow, and Legends. It was for Supergirl. And I'm glad that we're going to get the Chicago way as the mid-season finale for Legends. But Arrow, I don't even remember seeing a promo for the Arrow episode. If I did, like I said, if I did see it, I don't remember it. And I just, after that was their 100th episode for Arrow. They're part of Invasion. I really do think that should have been the swan song for the mid-season of Arrow, because it ended on such a really good note.
Yeah, you would think so anyway.
Yep. All right, so trailers. We got Transformers, Cars, and what was
the Amazing Spider-Man teaser?
Spider-Man: Homecoming. There's nothing amazing about it.
Whatever. I mean, it's kind of amazing. But...
Well, the trailer is yes, but the title isn't. No, Spider-Man was the shortest one. What are you doing? Didn't you get the box? What box? A minor upgrade. TS. Tony Stark. And we see the reveal of what's the kid's name? I can't even remember the damn actor's name. We see Spider-Man's new suit, essentially.
We see Peter Parker.
Yeah. No, I mean the actual actor's name.
Peter Porker.
That's a bad Simpsons joke, folks.
I did it on purpose.
Yeah. Harry Plopper. I was not expecting to see Happy. I was not expecting to see Happy Hogan at all.
I was glad to see it.
Yeah, I was too. I thought that was hilarious. I was not really expecting it, though. So that was fun. Then we got Cars. Cars 3 came out. Cars 3's trailer came out a while ago.
Now, just to go back real quick on the Spider-Man trailer, I think, and I agree with Optibotimus on this, but I think that's the best Spidey suit we've gotten.
Oh, yeah.
At this point, hands down, there's no way that... plus the underarm wing thing that they got going on, it rocks.
It does, yeah.
So that's my last comment on that.
That's all you have to say about that, huh, Forrest?
Yes, I enjoyed that trailer. I think it was really nice.
So the Cars 3 teaser came out a while ago. They're changing the animation completely at this point.
I love it. I love it because it's no longer that cartoony Pixar look that it started out with, like 10, 12 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's evolved even from what they had in the Inside Out films.
Mm.
So in this essence, like if they keep with this aesthetic and then they do The Incredibles 2 with this,
Mm-hmm.
the sky is the limit with this style, this new aesthetic, because they're also showing a grittier Cars universe, and it takes place much, much later when Lightning McQueen isn't the young buck on the racetrack. He's the old buck. He's he's the replacement for Doc in the first movie,
So
essentially.
yeah,
And this is his Doc moment.
yeah. So essentially, what you're saying is they pulled an old man Logan. It's old man McQueen.
No, they pulled like Doc from the
No,
first
I know, but
he has this massive blowout, and then he's relegated to being the old fart of
yeah.
the Falls, and I'm wondering if they're gonna have Tow Mater in it, or if they're gonna go for a more serious style with this film.
I'm not sure, and if it is going to go the way you're saying, if Lightning is going to become the Doc character, that kind of scares me. I think that's a great homage to Paul Newman and all that stuff and that character, but that kind of scares me because now I'm wondering who the hell are they going to get for him to train or for him I don't know. That just I don't know. But I am very interested with Cars 3. I think it does look really, really cool. So, and then there was Unicron.
This trailer, it's funny. I have mixed feelings, actually.
Yes.
On the one hand, I want to hate it really, really, really bad. On the other hand, I want to love it. And I'll give you my reasons why I want to hate it.
Mm-hmm.
Because one, it's another Transformers film by Michael Bay.
Yes.
Two, I don't see no Megatron. Three, it's got this weird we're one flesh conversation that Anthony Hopkins is narrating. Now, mind you, I love Anthony Hopkins, but it's really weird. And then the other aspect of it is, of course, you have Unicron, so it's like, oh, awesome, we're gonna have this mess. So, yeah, I'm not particularly thrilled in that area of it. However, I want to love it at the same time because it shows, what happened with Prime after the fact. He's tumbling through space, but it doesn't tell you how he got there because obviously he wasn't there in the last film. He was, I believe he was rocketing off to go to Cybertron.
Right. Yes, he was.
And then you see in the Pontiac Silverdome, because that's where you see the rocket laying in the middle of the stadium. That was Optimus Prime's phone call. He was paging General TFG1 Mike of the Sector 7 Police Force.
Oh, please. Come on now. I am not
So
as
they are
bad
gonna
as
have-
John Turturro.
Hey, he's back.
Oh, Christ.
Agent Simmons will be back. Lennox and Epps will be back. Because, you see Lennox saving Mark Wahlberg's "I'm an engineer, I can fix things" character in the trailer. And it's almost got almost a Mad Max Resident Evil vibe to it. Because it's like, only one civilization will survive. And it's got, mankind fighting for their life, and then the Transformers. There's a reason why they keep coming back here. So I mean, the story itself has me enticed through the trailer. So I guess in that sense, it gave me exactly what I was looking for in a trailer of Transformers.
Right.
And it doesn't look like a dump show like the last three films. Because this is supposed to be the stepping stone to the future of the universe on this, whereas like 4, I think they were just setting up
They were setting up.
Cade,
Yeah.
and that was about the only beneficial thing because they even have the guy that invented the interlocking transformer cubes that turn into the cybernetic space cube that turned from Lego to Nokia phone or Galvatron. Because again, they're going to revive Megatron in this film with parts of his actual original head, so the Galvatron Megatron is nowhere to be found. And
I'm glad that this first teaser trailer did not show Megatron because
I mean, I'm glad too, but they showed Unicron, which is almost as bad because it shows me that no matter what happens, Megatron is not going to be the lead villain. However, with the way the trailer played out, with Prime beating the crap out of Cade and Bumblebee and saying, "Forgive me," it leads me to believe, because he's the one floating in space, that
Unicron.
he becomes Nemesis Prime through Unicron.
Yep.
And ends up being the bad guy instead of Megatron, Galvatron. So it makes me think that the Autobots revive Megatron to save their race and restore the balance that Prime brought to it.
Yeah.
Before his fall. So in that essence, I think it could be good, but it leaves me wondering too with the King Arthur or Merlin thing, because I think Anthony Hopkins is going to be like the Merlin or something in that regard.
I just wish Michael Bay would get someone to write these things that was actually good at writing. I'm not talking about a Transformers fan.
It's not Michael Bay. He actually, I have to say that after the fourth film, Hasbro, as a part of their Hasbro Studios, created a think tank for a combined universe where they have a certain team that's relegated to like Mask and G.I. Joe. And,
yeah, that's for the comics. That's not for...
No, that's for the films.
Oh, is it really?
Yes, it's for the films. And they have they have a think tank for the Transformers franchise plotting out the future of the films and all their little side shots. So like the Bumblebee solo flick, and then every film after this is going to have a definite written plan ahead of time. So whether Michael Bay is directing it or not, he's going to have to adhere to whatever the Hasbro Studios decide that they want to spend money on. Which is good, because we're not getting another one of the messes like Revenge of the Fallen or, the other ones that are just god-awful.
Looking at the listing on IMDb, writing credits include Art Markham, Matt Holloway, and Ken Nolan as screenplay. And the story is by Akivia Goldsman. So as long as Aaron Kruger's name is in anywhere near this film, which it doesn't seem like it is, I'm fine. Whatever. It's a Transformers movie. I may or may not see it in theaters. I'm just not. I just don't go to the movies anymore. So
I'm not going to see it in the theater, and that's just because I too do not go to movies in the theater. However, that being said, Star Wars 8 comes out in theater. I will be watching that in the theater. Hands down, another Star Trek movie, theater. And then, of course, the Batman film or Justice League I'm going to see in theater. But everything else I'm going to pretty much see on Netflix or DVD.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I'm very much looking forward to these movies that showed up in this, block of films. I'm looking forward to everything that they have to offer, because they actually look like they're changing the mold. They're breaking it up. They're doing something new.
Yeah.
With all three of the franchises. I mean, that's just. I haven't been this enthusiastic for like soft reboots on any of these things in like forever. So, unlike the new Mummy movies, where I'm like, wow, these look like Tom Cruise got shoved into a monster film. So yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, I'm really looking forward to these. I don't know if there's any other films that you would be looking forward to, and I kind of posed that question with the listeners in mind too. Are there some movies you're looking forward to that are coming out in 2017 that the trailer's out for now that you're looking forward to? Because like obviously I know there's the Old Man Logan, there's the or Logan,
Yeah.
there's the Wonder Woman, there's
Yeah, but we've already seen the Wonder Woman stuff. We've already seen the Justice League stuff. We've already talked about that. We've already, for me, really, what it is, and I don't think a trailer has come out for it yet. But outside of Rogue One and outside of last night and Cars 3, Fast 8. I've been a huge fan of the Fast and Furious franchise since it started. So I want to see in Fast 8 what they do because Paul Walker is no longer he's not with us anymore. And rumors are that they're going to be taking the franchise not in a whole new direction, but it's going to be a whole new story that has nothing to do with the era that was the Paul Walker era of the franchise. And they're taking it back to New York, where it was originally supposed to be. Because originally the first movie was supposed to be in New York, not L.A. With Transformers, the one thing I'm glad of for when it comes to this is there's no Agent Smith as Megatron. It's Frank friggin' Welker.
that I'm very grateful for.
Yep.
Yeah, I was never a fan of that voice.
Was Jess always Barricade?
Yeah.
Was he really? Huh. Okay. Well, he's.
No, he was Ironhide.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Well, Jess Harnell is Barricade in Last Night now, apparently. Wow. Huh.
Yeah, he was. Trying to think of who was his voice. He was in Transformers, then he was in Dark of the Moon, then Age of Extinction, and then Last Night.
Right. Yeah.
Even though he was destroyed, yeah, it's been Jess Harnell the whole time.
Yeah.
Since the very beginning.
Are you ladies man 2217? God. So when I posted, well, you find people will be listening to this a week after we record it, most likely. But
well, this will be out. This is the Tuesday edition of the Altered Geek.
Okay, so the 13th then.
Yes.
Yeah, it's still next week. I'll be in California with my fiance and her family for Christmas. But I posted the trailer when it came out. I posted it on the GCRN Facebook page on December 5th. It currently holds 530 people reached, and we had 3 other comments besides your comment. Bill Baskey or Bask, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, Bill. Unicron, great. Now he's gonna shit on Unicron. Thanks, Bay. Scott Kruger, Kruger. I'll be there too, bitching the whole time, I'm sure, but I'll be there. And then, of course, our buddy Scanner 51. I'm there. Like I said, folks, I don't know if this is something I'll see in theaters. It used to be that I would see stuff in theaters, my favorite franchises and things like that. But with living where I live now, there's not really a movie theater close by. I'd have to almost take 2 different buses to get to a movie theater. And I don't know. Like I said before, I can wait. It's not that big of a deal anymore for me to see movies in theaters. So,
so yeah, I guess that rounds it out for this week, or at this edition of Altered Geek, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, stay tuned for the next one. I'll have them coming out Tuesdays and Thursdays now.
Awesome.
Yes. So until next time, get Altered, get geeky with the Altered Geeks.